Hi everyone, it's Monica, and welcome back to Tailor-Made Cards for You. One of my favorite themes for Valentine's Day is the Love Potion theme. And I love this because I'm able to bring out some of my Halloween stamps that I put away after the Halloween season. Apothecary and Chemistry Lab designs are perfect not only for Halloween but for Valentine's Day cards. We all know about Love Potion number 9, so I thought I would go ahead and create a Love Potion card using a set from Tim Holtz, which is the Laboratorie set, along with one of the die cuts, which is the pocket tab, and a new die cut that I got from Fawn, which is this little pocket tab. So let me go ahead and show you what I started out with here. So I am using some of my digital images because, of course, I am using a Chemistry Lab design. And then I wanted to share with you this Love Potion digitals that I recently created and are available in my Etsy shop. Now I'm using several die cuts for this particular design. I started out cutting out the die cut, which is that Tim Holtz pocket die, and that's what's going to hold my Love Potions. And then I'm sharing with you another die cut that I got over the holidays, which is from Fawn, and it's called Lift the Flap. Now this creates like a little door or a little cabinet. There's so many things that you can do with this. It's really a great little die. And when I saw it, I knew I had to have it. Now I had an idea in my crazy brain that I wanted to create like a cabinet in a laboratory. So the outside, you're kind of looking at the laboratory itself, and then the inside, you would find all the potions and all the mixtures that you would use to create your potion. So I went ahead and I die cut my Lift the Flap die, and then I brought out my Tim Holtz stamp platform and I started stamping over the actual flap. Now you want to make sure that the flap is completely flush with the rest of your cardstock because you are stamping over where the door is going to open. So when you first die cut your flap, don't open it. Just kind of leave it closed because you know you're going to be stamping over it. And then get out your stamp and your Misty or your stamping platform from Tim Holtz, and then go ahead and stamp your bottles. Now this Laboratorie stamp set is by no means a new set, but it is a really great set. It has some great vials and chemistry type stamps that are perfect not only for Halloween cards but for Valentine's Day cards. And they have stamps not only going vertical, but they have stamps going horizontal as well. So if you wanted to create a design where your flap actually opens up from the top, there's some great stamps that you could use as well. So once I had my images stamped, I wanted to go ahead and take another stamp from a set that I've had forever and ever. I can't even tell you where it's from, but I wanted to go ahead and stamp the word love because on this particular card, I wanted to go ahead and put Love Potion. On my first card that I created where I was actually testing out the design, I used one of my digital images from my Chemistry Lab set, and I cut out the Chemistry Lab label. So there's a lot of options you can go with this. You can create a Love Potion label, Chemistry Lab, Apothecary, Pharmacy. There's so many ways that you can go for this labeling to create different types of designs on your cards. Now typically every card design that I share with you on YouTube is a design that I've tested. And a lot of times when I do my first design, I don't do a lot of grunging. I'm just really working on the actual design itself. But for this particular card, once I had my design set and I knew what I wanted to do, I went ahead and got out my distressing tool here and I frayed up the edges. I wanted to create a little bit of grunge on this card because, of course, that is my style and I love to grunge it up. So after I had created some distress along the edges, I got out one of my distressing inks, which is my vintage photo, and I just added a little bit of the brown grunge to the edge. Now the most difficult part of the card, I have to say, was actually fitting that little pocket die inside of the window. I wanted to be able to line it up perfectly so that way when you open up the window, you have a little cabinet where you have some pieces of ephemera. And I practiced a lot on this. What I can say is what you're going to want to do is after you punch out or die cut your pocket, you're going to want to go ahead and die cut another piece and mat it onto that, because you need some edging to be able to have that fit perfectly behind that window. I'll leave a list of all the dies that I use so that way you can see exactly what I did and what I used, but you just want to make sure you have some sort of edging. If you don't have a die cut, then you can easily just cut out a rectangular piece, probably about 1/2 inch on each side would work. I wanted my edges to have the stitch finished edge, and that's why I used a die cut. Now when you're adding your pocket die to your black cardstock, you want to use some thin adhesive, because you want to make sure that you don't get any of that adhesive where the slots are showing. It would get really sticky and your ephemera would kind of get stuck. But you want to get the really thin adhesive and wrap it around it and then mat it onto some black cardstock. And then once you have that piece of cardstock ready to go, then you're going to take your gray piece of paper, which I'm showing you here, that has the stamped word love, and you want to turn it over, and you want to add adhesive around where that pocket opening is, because you're going to center that black slot pocket over where the window opens. So hopefully that makes sense. And it's going to take you a little bit of maneuvering. I show you on this video where I did it in one try, but I definitely did not do it in one try. So just take your time and just line it up and you should be fine. And then once you have it lined up, you're kind of like the home stretch here. You just add some more adhesive to the back of the gray cardstock, and then you add it to your other pieces of cardstock. I'm using pink because it is a Valentine's Day card and I didn't want it to be completely grunged up. So I chose to use some pink cardstock to outline the gray. And then, of course, when I'm layering, I always love to add washi tape. The washi tape that I'm using is one of those thin tissue tapes from Tim Holtz, and it's his really old collection, but I have several of those. And I used that, which has some words. And then I had this washi tape that had some white hearts on black washi tape, which was perfect for this card as well. And then I also had one of the thin tissue rulers, which I just added pieces of. I wasn't really sure exactly where that was going to go, but I liked the design because I thought a ruler kind of made sense in a laboratory. So I just tore off some pieces and I added them to each side. Washi tape is great not only for decorative, but it also helps to secure your layers. I think washi tape is underused. A lot of people don't use their washi tape. I'm not sure why. I use it on almost every single one of my designs because not only is it decorative, but it is a good way to make sure that your layers won't curl up. Now, because I'm going to be adding pieces of ephemera in my pocket, I wanted to add a little clasp. Typically for this design, you're probably going to stamp something inside, but I didn't want my pocket staying open. I wanted it to be shut so that way when the person that gets the card actually is going to be surprised. I don't want it to just kind of flip open on its own. So I had these little clasps that I went ahead and I added with a brad. And it was perfect to just kind of keep that window closed. And that way it just slips right open when I'm ready to open up and reveal my ephemera. And then from that point, I was ready to go ahead and add my, my designed front to my white cardstock. Okay, so once my cardstock was adhered, it was time to do my finishing touches. And I'm using these little labels to add potion. Like I said, I wanted my label to say love potion, so I had already stamped the word love, and now it was time to add the word potion. I'm using my tweezers along with my Tim Holtz Idea-ology little, I don't even know what these are called. They're called labels, I think. Yes, they're called letter labels. So these are great. And as you can see, as I'm flipping through these little letters, I use these a lot. They're easy to find. They're not very expensive, and they're great for documenting and adding little labels. You can add them not only with your stamps, but you can use them individually as well. So the combination of the stamped word love and potion was a great label for this card. Now I also got to use one of my Halloween clipping sticker set from Tim Holtz. Again, this is a chemistry kind of laboratory design, and he has some great clipping stickers that go along with that. And one of the clipping stickers he had was the word apothecary, which was great for this card. But there's also all sorts of other ones. So go through your Halloween stash and see what other kind of things you can use for this Halloween card. Just keep in mind it's a love potion card, so think chemistry, med scientists, pharmacy, anything like that would work great for a card like this. And then once I added my label, the last thing I had to do was just add my pieces of ephemera. So I hope that you've enjoyed my Love Potion Valentine's Day card. As always, I will leave a list of all the products that I've used to create the card along with the links to the stores. If you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. And be sure to check out the links below the video. I'm going to have links to the products that I've used, but I'm also going to have links to these fun pieces of ephemera that I'm using inside of my pocket. Also, don't forget to leave me a comment and let me know what you thought of this card. I'll go ahead and I'll do a drawing in a couple of weeks for those Love Potion digital images that I was sharing with you. And I will give those to a couple of lucky commenters. So leave me a comment, let me know what you thought of the video. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I have some really fun Valentine videos coming out in the future. And typically I do announce my winners on my videos. All right, everybody, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you again next time.